It's been a while since I have done a YouTube studio at home tour for you guys. I think the very last one was probably the collaboration that I did with Trina Little over on her channel, which I'll link to down below. But everything is completely different since I did that. I've completely rearranged my office. I have bookshelf now. So I want to give you a tour of how I have my office slash YouTube studio at home set up now. And I know some of you have been wondering about my actual gear setup and the camera that I use to shoot my YouTube videos. So stick around because I am going to also give you a rundown of how I have my gear set up, the gear that I'm using, and it's so not professional grade gear, so I think you're gonna be into it. Plus, in my previous video, I got a comment from JID01 who asked about the stack of records that I had behind me. They used to be over there, now they're up there, and so I might give you a little peek into what I have going on back there too. If you shoot YouTube videos in your home, or if you'd like to start, I know that it can be really tricky to know what gear to use, how to set it up, and how to position everything for the space that you have. So I'm gonna walk you through exactly how I have everything set up. If you like learning how to create YouTube videos and blogging for revenue, hit that subscribe button and that little bell notification icon as well so that you can come along on the ride with me. So I have tried every possible configuration here in this super small office. And the way that I have it set up right now is kind of unique. It's a little bit out of the box and I wasn't sure that it was gonna work, but if you have a really small space and you're struggling with all of your gear and where to put it and how to keep it all out, this might work for you too. And I'm gonna get out a piece of paper because it'll be a little bit easier to understand what I have going on here. Okay, so this is what my office looks like. This is my door. This up here is a super small closet. This is just like a nook full of stuff. This is pretty much my only window here. That's the window that you see behind me right back there. So I have tried putting my desk along this wall facing the window. Now I have my bookshelf right over here. But what I found with having my desk up against any of the actual walls was that all of my equipment, like my lighting, my tripod, my mic stand and everything, was always somewhere floating around in the middle of the room. So this is how I have it now. I have my drawers, my desk, my chair, and my tripod, mic, and my light stands are all basically behind my desk. Now, over here on this side, it looks like there's a lot of space here. There's really not. It's actually just all kind of crammed in the corner. And so by bringing these things out from being right up against the wall and putting all of my cords, my lighting, all the stuff that is always in the way, by having it over here, it's out of the way, but it's still up and ready to be used anytime I want to shoot a video. But this is my like functional desk area. It's in the middle of the room. It's a couple of feet, maybe 1.5 feet away from the wall, and then my desk is angled, so it's actually quite a ways away from the wall, which leaves the corner available for my lights, my tripod, and my mic stand, and all my cords and wires and everything like that. So this setup actually seemed kind of strange at first because it's such a small space. It didn't make sense to pull everything out away from the wall. But then once I did it and I realized I could leave all of my lighting and everything behind my computer desk and leave it up and it's not in the way, I don't have to trip over it. It works out really well. And I like having a bookshelf behind me because I can change it up. I can style it differently, add things, remove things, add some color and things like that. It's functional, but it's also a studio and I can decide what goes there and what doesn't. You can't really see the bottom shelves real well, so I can hide stuff behind there. And then I have my top shelves that you can't see when I'm shooting a video either, which are very unorganized, and I just throw a bunch of stuff up there. Now I want to get into my camera and gear setup, but first, JID01 asked in my previous video down in the comments, he said, I'm enjoying your content. I have a random question. I see a stack of vinyl records behind you, and as a music lover myself, I have to ask, what bands do you have in that stack? So I am a child of the 80s. So my parents had records. Most of them belong to my dad, and he recently sorted through all of his records and kind of sorted out the ones that he didn't want or that didn't belong to him because they belonged to like my brother or my mom or something. And he gave me the ones that were left over. So these are the leftover records of my childhood. You know, like Harry Chapin. I love Harry Chapin. Toto, we have Africa on this album. We have Rosanna. Rosanna, Rosanna. It's a classic. The Steve Martin Brothers. I mean, this is a comedy album that I probably wasn't old enough to listen to when I was a kid. Lionel Richie is a classic. Ooh, Bonnie Tyler, Pink Floyd, that belongs to my brother. We used to listen to this when I was a kid. We used to listen to the Muppet Movie, Blue Oyster Cult, Whitney Houston. That was a definite favorite when we were kids. Jane Fonda's Workout, nice. Footloose, awesome. So I need to get a record player so that I can listen to some of these. So about the camera and the gear, I shoot all of my YouTube videos with a Canon 70D, and I've had it for over 5 years now, and I actually had it since before I started my channel. So it's great for videos. I mean, it shoots photos too, but it's great for videos because it has a flip out screen. It has facial tracking so I can move around, and it will keep my face in focus, hopefully. And I've always meant to do some type of a review or something on that camera, and I just haven't done it in the 5 years that I've been using it for YouTube. So I have a regular kit lens, meaning it's an 18 to 55 millimeter lens. It's the typical lens that comes with a camera if you buy a camera with a lens. And so it's not fancy at all. It's not special. I think it probably costs around $100 or maybe $130 for the lens. So for my microphone, I have a Rode video mic. It's one of the ones that can go on top of a camera. I just don't put it on top of a camera because I like to be able to position it wherever I want. So I just have it on a regular mic stand that I got off of Amazon. It's nothing special. So the microphone plugs right into my camera and records all together all at once when I hit the record button. And my lighting is just I ordered 2 softbox lights from Amazon a couple of years ago. They sent these, which I don't know that these are necessarily considered softbox lights, but they have the diffuser screen that goes on top. So I just have these 2, they're angled at me like this and a little bit above. And that's what I have going on for lighting here. I do sometimes use my iPhone 10 and my GoPro Hero 7 Black to shoot some extra footage like B-roll and stuff like that. My favorite thing about having my studio and office set up this way is everything is just ready to go when I want to shoot a video. I don't have to set up my lights. I don't have to set up my camera. I actually have my camera plugged into an outlet. There's a little battery thing you can get. They're really affordable on Amazon. I'll link that below so that I don't even have to worry about running out of battery time. And I plug my camera into my computer as well, and I use Canon's software to make sure my framing is right and change the settings on my camera. I can change the aperture and the ISO and all of that stuff right from my computer. Plus I have my notes right in front of me. So I write a script that I turn into a blog post later, and it's all written, it's all right in front of me. All I have to do is look at my notes and then look up at my camera and say what I need to say. So hit subscribe on your way out, hit that bell notification as well, and let me know down in the comments if you have any questions about my camera, my YouTube studio setup, or anything else on my shelf.